Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for May 14, 2022, the On Hold edition. And we begin with that story from Elon Musk. As predicted by Matt Kelly, and frankly to no one's surprise, Elon Musk says his Twitter takeover is now on hold as he looks at information which was in the public record long before he made his bid, but he claims he just found out about. Obviously, Musk, well, perhaps not obviously, but my suspicion is he really had no intention of taking care of this and doing anything about it. And it was just a fling he had. And now he's recognized the gravity of what he's trying to do. But he says he's still committed, so perhaps it could still happen. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal Risk and Compliance Journal, Dylan Tokar reporting that the U.S. Treasury Department has outlined actions it plans to take to address illicit finance risks. The National Strategy for Combating Illicit Finance, released Friday, is the latest iteration of a report Treasury Department produces every 2 years. This year's strategy might be among the most important. Illicit finance is a major national security threat and nowhere more apparent in Russia's war against Ukraine. Next up, also from the Wall Street Journal, in just an unbelievable press release, Moderna has said that it did not know about the investigation of its now former CFO, Jorge Gomez, about being under an internal investigation by his former employee, Dinsply Sirona, until it was publicly disclosed on Tuesday. Yet within hours of hearing of the investigation, the CEO met with external lawyers to discuss the matter, and Gomez left. It's just unbelievable that they could make a mistake of this magnitude. They say their investigation was thorough, very, very thorough, yet here we are with Moderna with egg on their face. And our final story comes to us from Reuters, who tells us that the SEC is making progress towards its regulation of stablecoin. Obviously, the just collapse of stablecoin this week has pushed things along, but it signaled on Thursday that stricter rules about cryptocurrency stablecoins could be drawing closer. The cryptocurrency market has an overall value of, or it did, of $1 trillion this week, amid the collapse of the Terra USD and a destabilizing plunge in Tether. So lots of investors lost almost everything in this plunge. And if that wasn't a cry for greater regulation, I'm not sure what is. So Treasury is speeding up, or rather the SEC is speeding up its efforts to get some regs in place so that hopefully people will not be as surprised next time when the next crash hits. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.